starter and played effectively. And another turnover. And right now, the San Antonio Spurs that were on a run, they had a 5-point lead, and they have become unraveled. And the Timberwolves with a 1-point lead and the ball.
Well, Popovich is protecting his point guard. He just gave Danny Crawford an earful about he was knocked off balance with a forearm.
So the bench getting the job done for the Timberwolves. Zerbiak from outside, and Lopez crashing the boards. He's been a pretty good rebounder for a guard. And here is Antonio Daniels feeding David Robinson for the basket. Robinson leading the Spurs with 9.
You have to be conscious when Daniels is in the game. He's the quickest Spur from circle to circle, and he'll push hard. And that time, they were slow getting back in transition defense.
10 on the shot clock, under 5.5 to go in the first half. Zerbiak gets it out to Garnett. Here's Brandon. And the long rebound. And a loose ball foul as both Perry and Zerbiak hitting the floor. And the foul will be called against Danny Ferry. So Ferry has his second foul, as well as Duncan. We'll be right back. Duncan missing the hook shot from the baseline. He is 3 for 11 thus far. A slow start for Duncan, yet the Spurs trailing by only 1. Garnett now guarded by David Robinson. Garnett with a couple of pump fakes. Battle under the glass. Taken down by Duncan.
When you get underneath in a situation like that with Garnett, he did all of the right things, but he has the 2 7-footers hounding him, and they're both in the top 9 in shot blocking in this league.
So 2 big people against 1. That's the edge the Spurs have. Steal, and unable to control it was Felipe Lopez. But a daring attempt by Lopez.
Now just watch here. When he comes back, you're going to see Lopez gamble. Lopez is a better defender than Peeler. Peeler gives you the threat of the 3-point shot, and Flip just plays it by the feel of the game.
Lopez, who was once a #1 draft pick by the San Antonio Spurs before being traded to Vancouver, and picked up by Minnesota and paid dividends late in the year.
I mean, you have to just be taken back a little bit by the perimeter game of San Antonio. That it was so good during the course of the year. They have really struggled in this series.
Danny Ferry on the foul as Zerbiak trying to go under and around the baseline, picks up his 3rd.
Yeah, now just keep an eye on Zerbiak. See, Ferry has him right there. There's no doubt about the call. Now they're running Zerbiak off a staggered screen on one side of the lane and a curl on the other.
If necessary, will be Thursday at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Anderson with a runner, air ball. Nesterovic is into the game and has the rebound. Lopez and Zerbiak are filling the wings as Brandon directing traffic with under 3.5 to go in the first half. Timberwolves by 3. Here is Garnett with a great move against Robinson, and it's flipped away, and a 3-point attempt air ball by Felipe Lopez, and releasing was Terry Porter for the Spurs easy basket.
Yeah, see, they'll leak a man out when they have these 3 quick guys out on the floor. Now, once again, bad court balance. The defense, when that shot goes up, your 2 guards have got to get back.
And Terry Porter fouling Zerbiak on the spin move to the baseline. Nesterovic checked in its center for Minnesota to join Garnett, Lopez, Zerbiak, and Brandon. The Spurs are in the penalty, so Wally Zerbiak will go to the free throw line. Timberwolves lead by 1. It has been a tight game throughout. The biggest lead either team has had was 5 by San Antonio. And this is a stay-alive game for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And a good point, despite the foul trouble for Duncan, only 29 minutes played in the game number 3. When he was in the lineup, the Timberwolves outscored the Spurs by 8. Well, Zerbiak is 5 for 5 from the line, and Minnesota 10 of 11 all told, and that's not surprising.
No, they're just an outstanding free throw shooting team, 4th in the league at 79%.
3-point game. Anderson flipping to Daniels. He's already hit a 3.
There he is.
And he's hit 2 of them. That's his 3rd of the game, and it ties the score at 40.
See, I like that move. As soon as they made it, that's why we brought that up. Daniels is on fire here tonight. Why stay with Ferry or bring in Elliott, 2 guys who are struggling throughout the series, both in the low 30s.
Ferry on the bench with 3 fouls, stepping behind the line, but missing the 3 is Kevin Garnett. And good hustle by Szczerbiak, last touch by the Spurs. Szczerbiak in his 2nd year, and a heady player. Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the first half. We were tied at 19 after the first quarter. We're even at 40 apiece here with 2 minutes to go in the half.
Yeah, they were trying to open up Peeler for a 3.
Szczerbiak blocked by Duncan. San Antonio trying to break the tie. And Derek Anderson stepping on the line out of bounds, turns it over to the T-Wolves.
With Derek Anderson and Daniels in the game, they are blurs off the dribble to the rim. You must be conscious of them in the open floor. And then stay with Terry Porter spotting up for the 3s.
Anderson averaging 15 during the regular season. He has yet to score tonight. And his scoring has been down in this series. 6 on the shot clock. Nesterovic open in the corner. Look at the hustle. Szczerbiak. Oh, he got fouled. Beats Derek Anderson and David Robinson for the loose ball. And Robinson will pick up his 2nd personal foul. And the crowd giving Wally Szczerbiak a well-deserved standing ovation for his tremendous hustle.
Well, not only is he scoring, he's banging on the glass. And just like he did in Game 3, he came up very healthy with 6 key rebounds, the majority of them in that 4th quarter.
But every rebound is being contested to the limit. And Walt Szczerbiak looking up at the crowd and appreciating what his son has done thus far. There you see the supporting cast that Hubie mentioned from game number 3. Szczerbiak has been the only one of the 3 to come through thus far.
Well, see, Peeler cannot even get in the flow. That's why they tried to run, coming out of that timeout, a back screen to set him up for a 3. They want to get him going. Now, Brandon has had his opportunities. He's just a little cool. Maybe he shoots around at halftime. He comes out and he'll get it going in the 2nd half.
Szczerbiak misses his first free throw of the game. Timberwolves leading by 1. 10 points this quarter and 14 for the game. The AT&T halftime report coming up. Preview of tomorrow's doubleheader matchup on TBS. Milwaukee and Orlando, and Utah and Dallas. Both game 4s. Antonio Daniels, who has hit 3 from downtown, missed that time. And they want to make a clock adjustment. So Dan Crawford going to the scorer's table. The clock, 24-second clock, did not advance.
If you're on a coaching staff for Minnesota, you're very happy. You like the up and down. You're not happy with the fact that your guys are missing their shots, but you're getting what you want. So your game plan is good. At the other end of the floor, though, you've got to do a better job taking care of the defensive boards. And when other people other than Garnett get the rebound, get it out quick. He's the only one that ignites the break.
Garnett, with a line drive jumper, has 11 points.
He ignites everything.
Yes, he does. Remember, the Timberwolves won Saturday despite the fact that Garnett did not get a field goal in the 4th quarter. Minnesota by 3. Time remaining on the lower part of the screen, and a blocking foul called against LaFonso Ellis. That will be his 2nd personal foul, and a shooting situation. Both teams in the penalty. So Szczerbiak going to Garnett, guarded by Samaki Walker. Garnett with a turnaround, and Walker getting the rebound. Good sequence by Samaki Walker off the bench in place of David Robinson, and a timeout called, and that'll be a 20 this time called.
It's a nice move by that cutter going through. Szczerbiak had to honor the cutter. That did not allow them to double team in the post, and you can see they stayed out on the perimeter not to give him the 3 points
to go in the 3rd. Robinson going up against Nesterovic.
Now Flip Saunders is all upset. See, if you're coaching that team, you're upset because Nesterovic did not get the call. because as Robinson makes his move, the Sturridge plays him well as he can, and Robinson just goes right into his chest, and he gets the call. That is so exasperating when you're coaching a guy that you thought gave you pretty good defense.
Second personal for Nesterovic. David Robinson hits them both. San Antonio by 3. If the Spurs win this game, they'll wrap it up. And we'll play the winner of the Utah-Dallas series. Right now, that series stands 2-1 in favor of the Utah Jazz. Zerbiak stepping back, but Ferry staying with him. 5 on the shot clock. Zerbiak using the Nesterovic as a screen. 16 points as he picked his way.
See, they can play two-man on that side, just using Wally coming off curling. Even if he makes a catch like there and he had nothing, he went right back to the same screen type of a situation. That is there.
Zerbiak has 16 and 3 for the Timberwolves. Swooping in, not to be denied, was Tim Duncan, and his 13 points is the scoring lead now for San Antonio.
That's splitting the trap with Thunder.
So Zerbiak with 16, leading Minnesota. Now Duncan with 13 tops the Timberwolves. Brandon hitting the open jumper, so he's finding the range now.
They're going right back to the same move. See, they're running, coming off that curl. They're opening up the middle of the floor. They're coming off of that curl and then coming back if you defend it.
Porter with the drive, falls off the rim.
Come on, the guard is open.
Minnesota looking to regain the lead. The 3-2-point attempt missed by Brandon. So the Spurs still with the lead and the ball. Porter will fire from the corner. Tipped away by Garnett. And last touched by Minnesota, but into the crowd, and both Brandon and Garnett trying to peel away Anthony Peeler, but Garnett made a good play there, saved the basket.
The Porter and Brandon are playing one another. By Porter staying in the backcourt, Brandon got the open 3. When they threw it down the floor, Brandon was nowhere near Porter because he had not crossed half court. That's why Porter opened up in that left-handed corner.
Double on Duncan. Garnett won't let Ferry fire the 3, and Zerbiak steals the ball from Duncan. Zerbiak against Ferry, goes behind his back. Peeler still coming up empty. Anthony Peeler now 0 for 6 from the field.
4 on 2.
Ferry will fire a 3 and hit. So Peeler misses a 3 at one end, and Danny Ferry hits his second 3 at the other, and the San Antonio Spurs lead by 4. Danny Ferry has 8 points this quarter. Minnesota still looking for their first 3-point field goal of the game. Nesterovic open at the top, way off the mark.
You have to be careful right now. You got to be really careful. If you take those long 3s and you miss them and they kick out, look out. Now these guys right now.
Robinson is fouled as he got the pass. They were fronting him and will go to the line, and this is a crucial moment for the Timberwolves in this game.
Yeah, San Antonio doing a good job now off of misses. In the transition, they're running Robinson and Duncan right to the dotted line in the paint, right in front of the rim.
And the Timberwolves are going to need his range before this one is over if they can extend the series, and if they want to do that. Lopez tipping it, and a foul called. Lopez with the hustle, and Slater chalking up his 3rd personal foul, and missed shot that time by Duncan, who has 13 points. Garnett with the rebound. Brandon penetrating with the short jumper. Doesn't fall, and Duncan clears it. Under 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. 6-point lead for San Antonio. Spurs led by 1 at the half. We were tied after the 1st quarter.
2-man game.
Duncan guarded by Slater. Ferry with the hot hand here in the 3rd quarter. Malik Rose missing the shot at the buzzer. And Minnesota coming back, trailing by 6 points. So every time the Spurs have opened up a 5 or 6 point lead, Timberwolves have come back.
In the early going, San Antonio doing a terrific job on the defensive board, holding Minnesota to the one-shot attempt.
Ferry open for three.
Yes.
He's got it.
Yeah, he's on.
Danny Ferry with his third three-pointer. And Ferry now has 11 points in the third quarter. And it is a 9-point San Antonio lead. A danger zone right now for the T-Wolves. Under 3 minutes to go. The double team on Garnett. Lopez for three. And Slater keeps it alive, but the Timberwolves need some offense besides Garnett and Zerbiak. Zerbiak misses. And the loose ball stolen away by Terrell Brandon. Great hustle as he grabbed it away from Ferry.
Yeah, they got to get back to movement. They're just standing around right now, and everybody's trying to make up this difference by themselves. Get back into your movement that you're famous for.
Brandon. And it drops.
Every time they do that, screening down on both sides of the lane, Dick, and they're coming off the curls, they have hurt San Antonio all night.
All 8 points by Brandon here in the third quarter. And now, Greg Popovich out to argue with Dan Crawford. Timeout is called by the Spurs, who lead it to this quarter from threes. So the Spurs have had great contribution by role players in each quarter when they've needed it. Malik Rose, 7 in the first. Antonio Daniels, who's in the game, had 11 in the second quarter. And now Ferry with 11 in the third quarter as Duncan, let's not forget him, he has 15. And again, it's a 9-point lead for the Spurs.
Well, this is San Antonio basketball. They're stifling at the defensive end, and now they're playing inside, outside, and when they're doing that, they're very, very tough to beat.
Chauncey Billups into the game at point guard as Malik Rose committing the personal foul. Rose nearly lost it. 3 on the shot clock, and Daniels hits another one. That's 4 3-point baskets. So Antonio Daniels with 14 points, and those role players are getting the job done tonight.
And the 3-point shot has been the killer.
7 of 12 in San Antonio. That's 21 points to nothing. Minnesota still has not connected. Garnett with a turnaround. And the rebound by Ferry with nearly a half a minute remaining. The lead is 10. First double-digit lead of the game. And the Spurs, the team with the best record in the NBA, trying to knock out the Timberwolves tonight. Ferry claiming he was fouled, and Zerbiak got a piece of that shot, apparently.
With San Antonio making and shooting such a high percentage this quarter, no fast break opportunities for Minnesota.
Zerbiak with the fall away. So Wally Zerbiak coming up with another good game, 18. And the final seconds of the third quarter. Avery Johnson spinning his way in and misses as time runs out. But a convincing third quarter for the San Antonio Spurs. Point lead for the Spurs early here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, give it to him. I see right there.
Offensive foul.
Yeah, Slater just smashed into the defender and caught him with a forearm. No doubt about it. Good call.
4 fouls on Slater, and LaFonso Ellis will be checking into the game now as Slater goes out.
There was no need to do that, mainly because the screen was effective before the forearm, and then also Garnett was wide open for a layup.
Duncan in the game. Robinson on the bench right now. Duncan with 15 points. Scoring leader is Robinson. And going in is Rose, and no basket. Foul again before the shot. So 2 quick team fouls picked up by the Timberwolves in the first minute of this fourth quarter.
Percentage.
Avery Johnson coming off the bench. And has accepted his role. Duncan left open. Rebound off the offensive glass by Malik Rose, and backing in and committing the foul was Rose. That'll be his second.
Now that's Rose's game. You're coaching a guy like Rose. You never worry about loose ball fouls because he's out there. He's giving you everything that he has, and he's going to be forceful on the offensive glass. So he's going to shed people.
There's Wally Szczerbiak leaving the game. He has scored 18, replaced by Mitchell, and Terrell Brandon into the game, along with Anthony Peeler. He has scored 8. Mitchell now will inbound the ball. So the Timberwolves, Flip Saunders has Brandon and Peeler, their starting guards, with LaFonso Ellis, Sam Mitchell, and Kevin Garnett. Here is Garnett with a turnaround. He has kept this team in the game. 19 for the T-Wolves. Garnett. 6-point lead. San Antonio trying to avoid going back to the Alamo Dome. Timberwolves trying to keep the series alive. Duncan. Brandon the rebound. That's the second open miss by Duncan in the last minute. He is 7 for 20 all told in the game.
Inside.
Garnett. And he was held. Rose.
Well, see, Rose
holding him.
Yeah, Rose and Garnett collided, Dick. Rose went down on the floor. They were looking for the pass, and then when they made the pass, good call.
And it was probably a good foul because the pass heading for Garnett would have been an easy layup for him.
Anytime that Garnett is down and low and Rose is behind him, you've got to get him the basketball.
Brandon controlling. And Garnett trying to set a screen on the outside. They go down low to LaFonso Ellis. Misses with a hook shot. Outlet pass to Antonio Daniels. And Garnett guarding Daniels. Mismatch somewhere. Peeler is on Malik Rose inside. And Rose misses the shot. Opportunity for the Spurs.
Yeah, great hustle. Everyone hustling, picking up in mismatches.
Ellis, air ball by Ellis. Picked up by Elliott with 3 minutes gone by. Still plenty of time. And a 6-point Spurs lead.
Main thing here is you're getting wide open shots. You just need a break. The ball's got to go in the basket for you.
Both teams 1 for 9 shooting here in the fourth quarter. There's the shot clock. Winding down. Daniels with the drive. And he's got it.
Could have been goaltending. Definitely could have been goaltending. The ball was still, you know, circling around in the rim, and Duncan hits the rim.
The lead is 8. Garnett with 19. And Sam Mitchell, guarded by Avery Johnson, has the size advantage.
Great.
But Duncan blocks it coming off the weak side. Big block by Tim Duncan. And Sean Elliott will set it up. Plenty of time on the shot clock. 11 seconds.
This is your chance now to get into double figures.
Double team and a foul. Peeler coming over to help LaFonso Ellis on Tim Duncan. And that'll be his 3rd foul. We'll have a timeout with just under 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Timberwolves trying to make a run here. Peeler staying with Avery Johnson, and it goes in. I thought I saw someone tip the ball while it was on the rim.
Yes, you have very good eyes.
Am I right?
Yes, you are.
But nothing was called. So again, an 8-point lead. Nearly 5 minutes gone by. Here is Slater working against Robinson. And it was deflected off of Robinson, who is arguing with Bob Delaney over that call.
Yeah, but it's Delaney's call. It's right in front of Delaney. And the ref on this side of the floor, Bill Spooner, you know, he did not make the call. Danny Crawford from the opposite side on the wing makes the call. That's why Flip Saunders is going nuts right now.
And that's why the officials try to get it right. And that's the main thing. Somebody had a better view of it. Spurs leading by 8.
See, Flip Saunders has got a great point, and that is the fact that David Robinson pushed the guy in his hip, right on the hip, that caused all of that.
Duncan with the one-hander too hard. Robinson, offensive rebound. Robinson had a good rest on the bench, and the veteran should be very fresh down the stretch with 6:35 to go. Garnett talking to Duncan. Robinson going out to Avery Johnson with 6 on the shot clock, blocked, and Slater was there, and Avery Johnson challenging the big body of Slater, who picks up his 5th personal foul. One more, and he's gone.
Yeah, well, he definitely blocked the ball, but he catches him with his body.
In a desperation game for Minnesota at home with the crowd in its favor. 5:16 to go. Spurs lead 75-73. Derek Anderson to David Robinson, and hitting over Reggie Slater.
I like that. That play was designed in the huddle by Popovich. They knew they had the mismatch. Slater is giving away so many inches to David Robinson, he can just shoot right up over the top.
Here is Zerbiak, and he lost it out of bounds. He feels that it was deflected by Danny Ferry, and that Zerbiak claiming he never touched the ball.
Well, he was open before the pass was on the way. And then it comes down to judgment. You know that. It's the angle of the referee. And naturally, if a player hits it off his hand, he's never going to say, hey, my bad. It's off to me. Not in this situation.
Ferry with Porter, Duncan Robinson, and Derek Anderson for the Spurs. Terry Porter leaves it out for Robinson with 3 on the shot clock. David Robinson now with 19 points and 12 rebounds, and the leading scorer once again for San Antonio.
Robinson opened up, Dick, because Slater left Robinson to help out on that dribbler.
So the lead is 6. Garnett posting up against Duncan. Wants the ball from Brandon.
Yeah, he sure does.
Double team with Porter out to Brandon. Nice. Inside the 3-point line. Brandon hits. He's got 12.
Yeah, they're an outstanding 2-man game. Mainly because Garnett is so quick, you have to go back in and double him. And then when you run at Brandon, he's a slippery guy. He's a proven scorer under pressure, and the 15 to 17-foot game is his.
Here's Ferry looking for Duncan. Garnett gets a piece of the ball, and the foul is called onto that pass. So the Timberwolves get it back. Nearly 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. Ellis. And Duncan with his 15th rebound. Under 2 minutes to go, fourth quarter. And the crowd quieted here. They were so raucous when we started tonight. This has been a big crowd for the Timberwolves all year, where they won 30 of 41 games. Here, 30 of 41 games. Here is Derek Anderson, fouled by LaFonso Ellis, and Anderson will shoot a pair.
See, smart basketball. You had a mismatch. They were faking a screen and roll with Duncan, but it was all just a con, because they were going to go, once it hit that 6 seconds on the shot clock, one-on-one on Ellis to see if he could defend Anderson off the dribble.
Star, but as we've said many times, that 47-35 record. Last year they won 50, but still the best 8th-seeded record ever. And Flip Saunders did a terrific job with what he had out there this year.
Absolutely. Well, the talent here has finally stepped up. And we all know that you're talking about the best defensive team.
And Duncan feeding Robinson, and they get it. The Spurs feeling it, and San Antonio, and don't think the Spurs are not keeping track of what the Lakers have done in case those two teams should meet in the Western Conference Finals. The Lakers sweeping Portland, and it looks like their game is back. Duncan is going to get the easy layup and use some time as he stuffs it through, but the San Antonio Spurs, you know, did not want to go to a 5th game, knowing that the Lakers are getting a lot of rest as they prepare for their next matchup in the semifinals. Brandon from the corner, that's a 2-point basket, and it's 92-81.
You brought out a good point earlier, Dick, and that was in that first half with Rose coming off the bench, giving him the spark. Daniels coming off the bench, giving him 11 points. And then every guy that came in. Then in the second half, Ferry steps up in the third quarter, gives him a solid 11 points.
Well, Ferry has hit 4 3-pointers in the game, and Antonio Daniels also has 4, and that amounts to the 8 that they have hit. Kevin Garnett hit with a technical foul. Derek Anderson with the free throw with under 1 minute to go, 53.6 on the clock.
Now, San Antonio's second leading scorer during the course of the season, Derek Anderson at 16 points. When you think of tonight, it's kind of bewildering that he only has 3 points, all at the foul line, and they all just came in the last 15 seconds.
But he has 6 assists, so he's done the job in other ways. David Robinson going to the bench, having scored 21 points and 14 rebounds. Danny Ferry, who had 2 points in the first quarter, winds up with 16. 4 seconds on the shot clock, 17.5 in the game. So Greg Popovich angry at his team's performance on Saturday. Sloppiness and turnovers affecting them. And they certainly closed a lot of those problems down tonight.
Well, the big factor in that game, not only the 18 turnovers, but the 12 steals. The 12 steals by Minnesota got them out in the open court for a tune of 23 points. We have not seen that tonight. And then when you look at his numbers, 22, 12, and 5 assists, he's had a fantastic year.
He has, but the trail has come to an end for the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have been eliminated